so, but we do live in the world that we live in.
Yeah.
And we do, giving gifts is still joyful. And I think, that isn't, I love to give gifts. I really enjoy it. And I think it's a nice thing. So, yeah, like I know you guys well enough to know that you both received many game related gifts for birthdays and Christmas. But what do you think makes a good gaming gift, or a good gift for a gamer? Who does anyone want to come in?
I can jump in. Yeah.
Go on.
Just trying to remember my little list. I had a little list. One of the things I wrote down was actually something that I've noticed has become a bit of a thing lately, and that's a gaming-inspired cookbook. If your gamer is also keen to get going in the kitchen, that is definitely something you can look into, because there's all sorts of different cookbooks out there. Believe me, I've had a look. It's impressive how many different types there are.
I'm just going to make a note of this.
There's Skyrim, which you can make sweet rolls. What else? Lots of other different types of things. There's a God of War one, which obviously involves stew. I think there's a Tomb Raider one. What else? I'm sure there's some other ones. But yeah, you think there'd be an Overcooked cookbook, given that it's about cooking. Whether maybe there is, I haven't looked well enough. But they're always quite fun, novel little gifts. Obviously, if you're keen to be in the kitchen, you have to check that, like, the recipes are actually of good quality. And I guess that the person reading them is going to understand all the measurements, because a lot of the time they're in American measurements, like cups, like a cup of flour or something, which is painful to convert, but always quite a fun one if you have those two intersecting passions, or you want your gaming person to spend more time in the kitchen, perhaps. Although we don't want to go there in terms of gender traits. Maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, but that one's quite a fun one. Or indeed just like books about the game world, or novels based on that world, are always really cool gifts as well. Definitely.
I love that. I hadn't even thought of that, which is a bit weird, because I did actually recently gift a book that was based on the world of Jane Austen, which is
cool.
Recipes based on the Jane Austen.
That's really good.
Yeah. So I should have thought that, but I hadn't even considered that. I feel like there's a podcast in that, actually, or a vlog for that, because like making, I can just see you, Matt, cooking your way through the world of one of your favorite games. I can just see that would be brilliant. I would definitely pay to see that. Talking of paying to see things, I just wanted to draw your attention to, Matt mentioned earlier that we now have a Patreon account, which is extremely exciting. And we will obviously put the link in the notes for this, but for this episode, but and everywhere, probably constantly. But do hop over to patreon.com/gaming the system. And show us some support and love, because it's hard work doing this. And I think Patreon is an excellent system, and I just also love the name of it. So yes, please do check it out. And if you're looking for something to gift your Gaming the System fan, then maybe that would be something to get involved in. So Matt, is there any what was I asking about? What do you think makes a really good gaming gift?
Well, I think if in doubt, get a voucher. If in doubt, if you think there's no, people put pressure, if you put pressure on yourself for gifts, then relax. You don't need to try so hard. It's fine. Something as simple as a voucher can be wonderful. Best thing is, I'm a big fan of that, as you say, cost of living stuff. Even though it's only a crisis now because it's starting to affect the middle class.
Yeah.
I think for people, what fucks me off so much about capitalism and the ultra wealthy, that there is a ton of people who are very comfortable, who are under no threat, and who, I just think, because the world and the economic situation is becoming dire, more dire and more dire and more dire as we get further into austerity. The way that older generations think about how life for younger people works now means that they think, oh, you just need to work hard and then you'll be able to do what we did, which was support a family and buy a house and all of that. But that's not how it works anymore. Hard work doesn't translate to stability and a guarantee of a safe and comfortable, thriving life. So if you've got resources, share them liberally with the young people in your family, because there's so much strain and stress that is being crushed down on the younger generations now, because they've got climate change, they've got the economy, they've got inflation, all these things. So I would just say to all the generations, don't hold back, lavish your children, and if in doubt, get a voucher. That's my opinion.
I love that. You're so chill, Matt. You just it's like, if you're like stressing about Christmas, Matt, just listen to Matt's advice and it'll all be fine. Just chill.
There's just nothing makes me so upset and angry about arbitrary pressure, because there is, I think, like occasionally about the difference between mental health and mental illness, in that mental illness everything can be going awesome on top of the world, everything's going really well, and you have depression and it just makes you feel like everything is black and dark and pointless and terrifying. And then, so that's pressure that's like nature, force of nature pressure. Then there's economic pressure. You can treat mental illness with therapy and lifestyle changes and medication, and that can make the mental illness improve. But there's no amount of mindfulness that can overcome economic hardship and social systemic hardship. Like with women, for example, you say, oh, just be confident and don't worry. That doesn't make you any safer when you go walking about at night. So those are things that you need to worry about. Things like giving gifts, that's just, you've got enough to worry about. So I'm all for people just taking a look at their lives and going, what do I need to do? What do I want to do? And cut out stuff in the middle.
Yeah.
That's the best gift you can give yourself.
I think sometimes there's also a lot of pressure on people to react well to gifts. They may not necessarily like. Especially like I see a lot of people talking about how their autistic children their grandparents might get confused if they react badly to a present and start calling it rudeness, when actually they can't help their reaction, it's just how they feel and they're being honest. And so there's a lot of pressure on kind of both sides to find what is the perfect present, and then to receive and accept that present politely as well. And I think generally just the amount of pressure around Christmas is too much already anyway, especially now with the cost of living. And it's already a really hard time for an awful lot of people, not to put a downer on the topic, but it is a hard time for a lot of different people. And generally, like, there's a lot of very stressed and anxious people out there worrying about how to create a good enough Christmas for their family, when there shouldn't be this undue level of stress and anxiety around something that is essentially a capitalist invention. Not to put a massive downer on Christmas magic for everybody, but it is something that we should acknowledge. And I think one of the sad things about gaming is generally the price of games for the newer consoles being pretty much unreachable for a lot of families. Which again is why a voucher perhaps might be a potential solution, in that you can give a smaller amount, and perhaps build up to a game, or at least have a discounted game. But indeed, an even better solution might be gifts of experiences, gifts of time together, like you mentioned, Jem. Finding ways of gaming with each other that don't involve a hefty price tag, because there are lots of different types of gaming. So yeah, just something to think about, I guess, and to bear in mind this time of year.
And we did talk in our last episode about gaming with your family. So if you're looking for some ideas on how to approach that, maybe listen to that episode and you might get a few thoughts on it.
There's another.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I was just going to say that, talking about sort of discounted games, it's really good to like set up wish lists on the various gaming systems, because often they do come on sale, and if you've got it on your the wish list, then you will get an alert about it. So you can wait and get things. I mean, and I just want to say this because we've talked a lot about Overcooked on here, and one of the most recent Overcooked special edition is currently discounted by 90% on Switch, and is down from I think it was $27.99 to $1.99 or something like that. It's a massive drop. Anyway, it's basically less than £2. So now is the time to grab your copy of Overcooked if you haven't got it already. And I'm not being paid to say this, I just think it's a great game, and I will be getting that edition. Yes, sorry, Matt, I interrupted you. What did you want to...
No, on second thought, I'll save it for the last question. It'll fit better there, I think.
So, do we want to talk about what's on your wish list, or do we want to just go straight to our top 5 gaming gifts? How do you feel?
I'm desperate for the wish list.
The wish list, right. So, what is on your wish list, Matt?
So, firstly, I've been wanting to play the Callisto Protocol for weeks now, but never getting around to it, and needing to fucking trade in something, and it goes just a big faff to go and do it. So it would be nice if that just materialized under the tree. That's one thing. And the other thing, which is being another nightmare, being very dramatic, NFL gear. So the two things that I wear, and I can't recommend this enough. I wear this, which is an hoodie. It's a long hoodie, and it's the most comfortable thing ever. I can't recommend this enough. And I wear sleeveless shirts because they're just the most comfortable thing. And since I've been doing those, they profoundly relax your shoulders because there's no pressure on them from the clothes all the time. Yeah. So if you've got tight shoulders, they're an excellent gift. and I have been trying desperately to get some Kansas City Chief NFL sleeveless shirts, but they only do them in America. They don't. I bought them, and then it turns out that they don't ship to England, which I only found out like 3 weeks later when they sent me a refund email. That was it. But my dad then said he's got friends in America who can buy it and then ship it to us. But then when I checked, there were only 2 left in stock.
Oh no!
So I'm waiting. I'm waiting for
attention.
It. So that's the apex that I'm hoping for, because that's just those things. Like I wear when I work, I wear wearing a sleeveless shirt with a jumper over the top is just perfect. It means you don't get too hot, you don't get too cold. Perfect. And having the right set of shirts with the logo I love. Red is my favorite color. So just the Chiefs, red, perfect shape. Where I could wear those for years. That's the absolute peng of the best kind of gift, I think.
Oh,
so that's why I'm so excited to do the wish list.
Do you know when it was posted? Do you know when you're expecting them to
We don't know whether we don't know. So I got that email over the weekend, and it's Dad's work colleagues. So he emailed them, and one of them is going to try and do it. So I'm waiting. It could be out of stock. It could be just. So I'm in limbo.
So sometime in the new year.
Sometime in the new year.
Oh, well, you'll have to let us know.
I will. I'll be wearing it.
Come on, wearing it, yeah.
I'll wear both of them at the same time.
Oh, Alex, what about you? What's on your wish list?
In terms of gaming, on my wish list is the game Stray, because I haven't played it yet and I really need to. And I've heard some very good things from both yourself and other gamers around the world. So that's definitely on the top of my list for gaming, apart from also potentially more space on my PlayStation 5, like a little SD or HD or whatever it is that you put inside, and it gives you more space. Because I feel like with the size of games nowadays, that's something I may need to invest in the near future, I suspect. But yeah, in terms of other gifts, one thing I kind of already know that I'm getting that's important is a lovely footstool for the sofa, which will get many hours of use by people's feet on the sofa, which is always lovely to have. Just practical stuff like, excuse me, like similar to what Nat's mentioned about his clothes, like sometimes practical gifts, even though they're very adult and boring, are actually the best gifts because you get the most out of them, you use them every day. So yeah, definitely those sorts of things.
That's awesome. Well, I agree about the footstool. We've got one, and it doesn't even match our sofa or anything. It just came with something else completely, and it's so good to be like just sit on my 2-seater sofa. I've got like a sort of one of those 1.5 sofas that we got second hand, and it's the best sofa that I've ever had. It's so comfy. And you just sit in it. It's perfect for gaming, and you can just sit back, feet up on the footstool, gaming. Because if I don't do that, then I sit at a really weird angle, and then I get all aches and pains. So yeah,
posture's really important as well when you're gaming, because you're sitting for so long. You need to make sure you look after your body.
Absolutely. So I'm going to be a bit like rubbish, really, because when it comes to gaming, what I really want, what's my wish list is time to game, time to
really good one.
Game guilt-free as well, because I've really struggled to game over the last few weeks because there's been so much to do, and I've just been feeling like, I should be doing that, I shouldn't be gaming. So I did sit down and play a little bit of Disney Dreamlight Valley yesterday, and that was the first time I've gamed for about 2 weeks, and yeah, it's so that's what I'm wishing for. And don't really, I'm looking forward to getting exciting things that I haven't really thought about.
Yeah.
So there's like and a lot of like, boring grown up things as well. So yeah, I just really hope that we have a nice day and that my daughter enjoys the day and that everyone likes their gifts and that we have lots of yummy food and that it all just sort of goes smoothly, I think, is probably what I want. But I think it will, because I've been taking many leaves out of Matt's book and doing my best to not stress about it, because I'm spending the day with my lovely family, and that's the where the real value is in the day, actually, just having time to stop. So we've been talking all about gifts. We've talked about our worst gifts and our best gifts and our wish list. And so we thought what we would do is round up this year with a Gaming the System top. And we hope everyone has a happy and healthy festive period. And we will see you in the new year. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to subscribe and give us 5 stars, and also check out our Patreon account.
Yes, please.
And we will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.